And we're streaming. Peace,
Peace.
So, peace.
Imran. So here we are again for our next round of conversation on the Quran, and which everybody hates in the world today. And we shall see who joins us or doesn't. So are you watching, Imran?
Like, yeah, I'm monitoring
Yeah, right.
the
That's why.
stream.
Anyway, so I'll plug this link and to check whether we're streaming. Yep, we are, and I'll pin it. So anybody who wants to come and join the conversation, nobody's here yet, but they can click on that link. And of course, when they join live, they won't know which link to click. Yeah. So anyway, whoever wants to and hears this can click on that link and join the conversation and come with their questions or arguments. I mean, I don't have a problem with people arguing about the Quran uh, with what's written in it, but not from your thoughts. I will not accept your thoughts over what is written in the book, nor mine. If you think I'm thinking my thoughts over what's written in the book, then you are welcome to bring that part of the Quran which overcomes my understanding or what I say of the Quran. You're more than welcome to do that. And if you are right, then you are right and I'm wrong. I will accept that. But if you bring your thoughts, or if you denigrate this book in any way, or you mock this book, then you will not be here on this chat. You can go somewhere else. Yeah, you won't be on this stream. That's for sure. The moment you start mocking this book in front of me, you will not be allowed to stay here, as I'm commanded to not sit with you when you mock this book or any other book of God, the Torah or the Injil. Uh, Notwithstanding that they have hidden and destroyed the majority of the message, not majority, a lot of the message that was sent in those two books. And this Quran completely confirms the Torah and thus also the Injil. So you can come and talk about what's in it. And yeah, sure, a lot of it is going to be against your wishes and your desires and what you've been taught in this world. Absolutely. I'm not going to say that it's going to be very easy to overcome what you've been taught by the Satan all your lives. It took me a while as well. So anyway, today we had three uh, requests. One was from Imran, who said that's a part of chapter 7, where it talks about the day of the standing and what will happen when people are destroyed and they enter hell. And the other one was the creation, how this system we're in was created by God. And the third was the story of Lot. So I think, I mean, we decided to do the creation aspect today. So we're going to go through the book on how this heaven and earth was created and what's written in the book that confirms how it was created. Of course, it's not exhaustive. It's going to be a overview of what the Quran says. And just to push back on anybody who thinks I'm making stuff up and what I'm going to say is complete fantasy, it's the opposite. What you've been taught about this system we live in, which is enclosed, by the way, you cannot escape it. There's no escape from this earth, nor the heaven above us, nor from the sides, nor from going straight up, and certainly not from going down. Because if you dig down long enough, you will get to hell, which you can't get to, by the way. That's also blocked off. Only God will put you in hell, most of you, obviously. So, what you've been taught about this heaven and earth or this universe is all nonsense. It's fantasies. Yeah, there's none of that in the Quran written, nor the Torah, nor the Injil, which is called the Bible. None of that is written there. It is objectively opposite of what you've been taught. It didn't come from nothing. The heaven and earth did not come out of nothing with a big bang. It came out of nothing by God creating it. It was no big bang or any nonsense like that. There's no universe. That thing is a fantasy in your minds. doesn't exist, what you've been taught. If you believe that this so-called space agencies of your world and the scientists, what they're telling you about the universe is true, if you believe that, you're deluded. And if you think you know that, you're beyond help. There's no coming back. So, what I'm going to go through today is what the Quran says about how the heavens and the earth were created. So, first, we'll bring up the idea of the 6 day creation, which is written in the Torah, by the way. All the 6 days are explained in great detail in the Torah. And of course, I don't accept all of that because I know some of that is has been tampered with, but it aligns pretty much with what the Quran is saying. 6 days. These 6 days are not like our days that we live here, because the sun, the moon, and the star system was not set up till the fifth or sixth day of the creation. So the first 4 days there was no sun or moon. So the way we count time as one circuit of the sun around us, which you people think is the revolution of the earth around its axis, nonsense. It is the one complete circuit of the sun around us, above us. Every day it goes around once and comes back to the same azimuth. So that is one day for us. But the days that this earth was created in are not the same days because the sun and the moon weren't there. How are you going to calculate that when they're not there, right?
Yeah.
And time itself is immaterial. It's how you count time. Let me give you an example. Just like I said, this day is when the sun goes around and it takes so-called 24 hours that we measure with our uh, chronometers and whatever. So what about the earths that are out beyond this heaven, which you don't think exist, and they do exist? So what about the suns and the moons that are there? Say the sun in the other earth, one of the other earths, takes 5 times longer to go one circuit. So the day there is 5 days here. But is the time any different? No, it isn't. It's not. The time is the same. The time is an effect of things happening, events occurring, actions being taken. That's all the time is. If everything was frozen, there'd be no time. So, time doesn't stop for anyone, by the way. God exists, period, in the time there is, was, will be. We exist for the time we're here. When we are sleeping, time doesn't stop. Time keeps going, it stops for us. When we're dead and we're not alive anywhere else, the time stops for us. The time still is moving around us. So when they talk about time travel, for example, and all these nonsensical time dilation theories and relativity nonsense, absolute garbage, you cannot travel back in time. If you could, then we would not exist. Guaranteed. If this would not exist, nothing would go on. It would be a complete disaster. Yeah, you keep changing time in the past, the future is gone. This doesn't exist. And they say, oh, we've got millions of parallel universes going at the same time. We can jump from universe to universe. Nonsense. It's complete bunk. Poppycock, as they say it. I mean, fantasies and delusions created by idiots. I have better word for them. Anyway, so let's go to these 6 days where the Quran says that the earth and the heavens and the heavens and the earth were created in 6 days. So let me bring this up for you.
What a beautiful explanation, by the way.
So we come to the first place is chapter 7, sign number 54. So surely your Lord the God, your Lord is a God. It ain't Jesus. It ain't Muhammad. It ain't me. It ain't you. It ain't no one else. It's God. Not the spirits, not the angels, nobody. The one who created the heavens and the earths in 6 days. I say heavens and the earths, and I'll tell you how they were created eventually, but there was only one heaven and one earth before the other heavens and earths were created. And I will explain this later. Created the heavens and the earth in 6 days, then sat over the throne. He covers the night, the day. He seeks it swiftly. And the suns and the moons and the stars, they sent out with his command. Is not to him the creation and the command? Blessed the God, Lord of the knowing. So here we're clear that we 6 days he created and then sat over the throne, as opposed to the common wisdom, the conventional wisdom that he rested on the seventh day, as if God gets tired. So here's the next one, which is in chapter 10, sign number 3. Surely your Lord the God, the one who created the heavens and the earth in 6 days, then sat over the throne. He ponders the command, not from intercessor except from after his will. That to you the God your Lord, so serve him. Will but not you remember? Well, my Lord, I have to answer, they will not. Then, chapter 11, sign 7. And he, the one who created the heavens and the earth in 6 days, and his throne over the fluid. People call this water. No, it's over the fluid. Water is a fluid, but all fluid is not water. And all waters are different types of fluids. To his testing you, which of you better doer? So I won't read this. So basically, here he points to the Spirit is talking to us, obviously, and He, the one. So before it was God, your Lord, He is God, obviously. Here is the nuances of this book and the metaphorical ways it speaks about God that is clear if you read it with any kind of insight. So the one, so let's go from this 58 sign, chapter 25. And trust over the living, the one, not he dies, and glorify with his praise. So yeah, he's the one who doesn't die. The rest of us, we die. And enough with him with crimes of his servants, awareness. Yeah, he's he's aware with all our crimes. So don't try and hide your crimes from him. He knows them. The one who created the heavens and the earths and what between them both in 6 days, then sat over the throne, the Almighty. But ask with him news. You want answers, ask him. He might answer. Then, chapter 32, sign 4. The God, the one who created the heavens and the earths and what between them both in 6 days, then sat over the throne. Not to you from other than him from protector and not intercessor. Will but not you. You remember? Again, I must add, they will not. Then, chapter 50, sign 38. And already we created the heavens and the earths and what between them both in 6 days, and not touched us from tiredness. Now, here, the Spirit is, we created it. So now you must understand, God is not the only one creating things. He's the creator of everything, obviously. But what he creates also creates after he creates that thing. And the things here we're talking about are the Spirit and the angels. They are the ones who created the heavens and the earth with the command of God and his direction and his explicit instructions on how to create them all, the heavens and the earth. So before the heavens and the earth were created, the Spirit and the angels were already there in the realm of God without us or the heavens and the earth in them. So let's go to the last one, which is in chapter 57. And here, he, the one, so pointing to God, who created the heavens and the earths in 6 days, then sat over the throne. He knows what he merges into the earth, and what he brings out from her, and what he sends down from the heaven, and what he raises into her. And he with you where what you be, and the God with what you do watches. So he's with you wherever and whatever you are. Okay? You're Satan, he's with you. You're a rejecter, he's with you. You're a hypocrite, he's with you. You're a believer, he's with you. You're an angel, you're a man, you're a demon, you're a fish, you're a bird, you're an animal, you're an ant, you're a creature. You're wherever you are, whatever you are, he's there. And whatever means anything as well. So where's nothing living there, God is still there. He's the only living thing there. And wherever any other living thing is, God is there as well. And he, with what you do, watches. So he watches all of us all the time. No exception, no timing, whether you're sleeping or you're awake, it does not matter. He's watching you. So now you understand there are 6 days that the heavens and the earth were created in. Now let's go to some other aspects of what is written about the creation. So the first place is in chapter 2, and it's sign number 29. He, the one, the Spirit's talking to us again. Spirit is Gabriel, if people don't know. He, the one who created to you what in the earth altogether. So now he's talking about one earth altogether. Then sat to the heaven, one heaven, but shaped them 7 heavens, and he with everything knowledgeable. So understand this, keep this in mind, that he, the one who created to you, all of us, not just us alone, men. It's for everybody is in the earth, the demons and the animals, the birds, everything. Yeah, all together. So the earth was created all together. What's in the earth? To us, to you. He's talking to us. Then sat to the heaven, but shaped them 7 heavens. So now understand the earth and the heaven were one, and then seven, then shaped them into 7 heavens. Okay. So let's go to the next point. So keep this in mind. This is extremely important when we come to the final creation, the 6 day creation that is written in chapter 41. So in chapter 65, at the end, the God, the one who created 7 heavens, and from the earth an example of them. So understand this. He's created 7 heavens, which we just talked about. And from the earth's an example of them. So if you look at the Arabic, the word earth is ard or al-ard. So this can mean one or many in the Arabic text, which I translate where I see is plural earths and where is singular earth, but the word in Arabic is the same. So their example of them. So you cannot say there's one earth when he created 7 heavens and the earths are an example of them pointing to the heavens. You cannot say that there's only one earth then. It's their example. So at least there are 7 earths. And I would say God only knows how many earths there are. But the minimum, absolute minimum is 7. He sends down the command between them. To your knowing, surely the God over everything powerful, and surely the God is encompassed with everything knowledge. So he knows and he's powerful. So understand this aspect that confirms to you there are more earths. Talk about earth and heaven. I don't see anybody in the so-called Muslim world who has come up with this answer because they're all deluded from the beginning. Get go. They think they're gods. They think they've been purified. Yeah. They'll soon find out who's purified. So now in chapter 67, sign 3, the one who created 7 heavens staged, not you see in creation of the Almighty from running, but return the sight. Do you see from blanks? You see any blanks up there? You'll see black. They're not blanks, it's solid up there. So 7 heavens stage. Now people say stage mean there's on one stage. You can understand that. You could think about it, but the actual reality is that the heavens are staged one over the other. That's how they're put. We are under the lowest heaven of the 7 heavens right now, today, in this earth that we are destroying with every ounce of energy in our body. We're trying our hell bent best to destroy it. But, we're incapable. We won't succeed until God wants to destroy it. So now let's go to this sign in 71. Here again, Noah says in chapter 71, sign 15, don't you see how created the God 7 heavens staged? So understand, at the time of Noah, they all knew there were 7 heavens. And we don't know how long ago Noah was here. Thousands and thousands of years ago, 10,000, 15,000, 20, does it matter? Time does not matter. You have to understand. Time is just events happening, and here we count time by the circulation of the heaven and the sun and the moon and the stages of the moon. That's how we count time here. Time in itself is immaterial. It's just happening. Whatever's happening is happening. Whatever that time is, that's the time. It's the events that count, and you have to measure the time based on the events. And we've obviously chosen the sun and the moon because God set it for us. God set up the time for 12 months in a year. We didn't figure it out, nor the day nor the night. And certainly there are no weeks as you imagine in your mind. There are no weeks. There are days, months, and years. So now in chapter 17, 44, glorify to him the heavens, the seven, and the earth, and those in them. So everybody is glorifying God. And glorify means has many different meanings, by the way. And if from a thing except it glorifies with his praise, but not to comprehend their glorification. Surely he is forbearing, forgiving. So everything glorifies him with his praise. How that happens, you can figure out for yourself, but everything does it. And the word glorify has different meanings than just the basic glory to him. The glorification means making apparent as well in a subtle way. So now in chapter 23, sign 86. So the messenger is commanded by the Spirit. Me today, I'm commanded to say, who Lord of the heavens, the seven, and Lord of the throne, the great? This is the question. And soon they will say to God, and I will say, I'm commanded to say, well, but not you fear. So, this is how people are. They will say God, oh, because they know who, first of all, they don't know the seven heavens. Then they don't know about the throne. This is all delusions, right, for people. Yeah, the throne exists. It's all above us, all around us, probably below us as well, below hell as well. And there are seven heavens. So when those who know about this, they are told, they will say to God. And then I will say, will but not you fear, because all those who actually believe are wicked as well. They are hypocrites, wicked, and deluding mankind with the half knowledge and half baked understanding that they have, and they don't have any actually. So now let's go to the next place. Chapter 23 and sign number 17. So, and already we created above you seven tracts, and not we are over the creation oblivious. So, this is talking about the seven heavens. So, seven heavens with the seven paths to them. We can go to these heavens, but only with the will of God and His authority. We can't cross the heaven by our own volition. Yeah, we can't just decide, okay, we're gonna go. Nah, you can't cross it. We have been taunted by God and His Spirit and the angels that try and cross the sides of the heavens and the earth. Yeah. See if you can. If you do, you'll be shot upon and destroyed, and nobody's going to help you. Both to the demons and the men, this has been cautioned. You cannot cross the heaven and the earth. You'll be destroyed. All this that you see, that people have gone beyond the heaven, which they don't even tell you what it is. They tell you there's nothing out there except abyss and vacuum. Yeah, in only in their delusional minds. There's a barrier all around us, above us, around us, and it surrounds us. And there's no penetration of that. You can go up. They've got their satellites up there roaming around under the heaven, looking down upon you. And then they see things that you can't and pretend like they know everything. Sure, they know nothing. They literally know nothing except they know more than you. And there are entities above them that are watching them at the same time. So I'm looking at those guys watching them and me. I don't give a damn about them watching me because they can't do anything to me without those entities above letting them do it. So all this nonsense that you're afraid of by your leaders and your enemies and your friends and your close ones or your far ones doesn't matter. No, nothing can happen without the will of God. And He has everything under His control, Satan included, and all his enemies are under God's control. He lets it all happen because that's His plan. His plot is that. That's how He lets it happen, makes it happen. So let's go to chapter 21, sign 30 now. So here, or not they see, those who reject Surely the heavens and the earth were both together. And I will come to this in the next segment, which will explain everything. All of this will be explained in the next segment. They were together, but we separated them both. And we make from the fluid everything living. Will but not they believe. So everything living is from fluid. Understand that, because other than this heaven and the earth, out there is all fluid. However that is, beyond is all fluid, and whatever God wants to create out of that fluid is his business, his throne, the angels, the spirit, whatever he wants, it doesn't matter. So they were the heavens and the earth were both together, because you will see they were one together. Then they were separated and partitioned into the different heavens and earths, which will come next. This is the last segment in this. So in chapter 41, starting in sign number 9. So the messenger is commanded, the Spirit commands the messenger to say, so I am here telling you all, are surely you to your rejecting with the one who created the earth in 2 days. So now this is one earth. Okay, this here is one earth. And you make to him equals, that Lord of the knowing. So the Spirit finishes. Or you could, the messenger could say as well. So, but here I choose the Spirit finish, that Lord of the knowing. So, are surely you to your rejecting with the one who created the earth in 2 days, and you make to him equals. So, don't start making equals to God, yeah, which all of you do. You make Muhammad equal to God, you make Jesus equal to God, you make yourselves equal to God. You call yourself children of God and sons of God and daughters of God, and nonsense. It's garbage. You will go to hell for all of that. So 2 days, understand this. This is the key here. 2 days he created the earth. Then the Spirit continues and made in her pegs from above her. So because it was one, there's talking about one earth here, above her, fawqiha. So from above her, so it's talking about one earth here. So you understand the earth was just one platform fundamentally that was being created, and blessed in her and measured in her meetings in 4 days, equal to the questioners. Now if you look at that, the pegs are the mountains, and then he measured all her meetings, whatever he was going to do in it, like all the water was going to be wherever, all the barriers, all everything he decided in 4 days. So the first 2 days he set up the platform. In the next 2 days he put all these things, which comes to 4 days. So those 2 days plus the next 2 days together are 4 days. So from the basic earth in 2 days, the platform, to all the things on her, the next 2 days are 4 days. 4 days equal to the questioners. Who are the questioners? Whoever there are, whoever there were, whoever there will be. You think he doesn't know what he's going to create and what that is going to ask of the earth? If you think that, then I have a few bridges to sell you. And they're going at discount prices these days. Then sat to the heaven. Now God sat to the heaven, and here smoke. So the heaven was smoke at the beginning. But he said to her and to the earth. Now understand, the earth is now fully set up with all the things in her. And he said, the heaven was smoke at this time. Yeah. And he said to her and to the earth, come both obeying or hating. So he's telling them to come together fundamentally here. Come together. They both said, we come obeying. Now let me explain to you that the earth is a conscious being with a conscience or a soul like us. It's a living being. It's a female as well. It is not a male. The heaven is a living being, a female with a conscience, a soul like the rest of us. And they're far greater than us, by the way, the heaven and the earth. So right now, there's one heaven. So this is obviously after the 4 days. So the fifth day, he's telling them to come together. Obeying or hating, it doesn't matter. Does he give him any choice? No. They're told, okay, come obeying or hating. They both said, we come obeying, because they know they have no ability to go against God's command, unlike the rest of us. Then, so finish them 7 heavens in 2 days. and inspired in every heaven her command. So every heaven has her own command. Ours has her command, and the other six have their command. And we beautified the heaven of the world with lights and guards. So you can't cross it, and lights are all the lights you see in the heaven, the stars, the moon, the sun, and everything else you see up there. That measure of the mighty, the knowledgeable. So understand this. What has happened? This is how it was created. It's so simple. If you followed me through these half an hour, it's like simple how it was all created. But who knows this? Nobody,
No.
because you think you're living on a spinning ball, going in a vacuum of space at velocities and speeds that you cannot imagine. So then it must be true because you can't feel it, and it's beyond your imagination, so it has to be happening. Oh, but what about God? No, 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 that can't be happening. So this is how the heavens and the earth were created. And understand, all of these earths after the separations, the earth has been partitioned. It was one earth, and then the heaven covered all of it, and then separated into seven distinct heavens, and each heaven has its own portion of the earth, which are now the other earths. So all together was one earth, and now under the seven heavens there are so many different earths. Just like we have earths on the earth, right? We have the North American earth, the South American, the African, the European, Asian, Australia, all that stuff. So they're all called earths as well in the earth, and the whole thing is called earth altogether. If you see in my translation, there are places where I use the small e for earth. That means the portion of earth that you are on, or talking about a portion of this whole earth. When it's capital E, it's the whole earth altogether. So, anyway, that is where I think it clarifies how the earth is actually created. So, anybody who has questions, they can now put them across and I will try and answer them.
Yeah, I have a question. Chapter 9, sign number 36. It says, surely count of the months with the God 12 months, and book of the God, a day created the heavens and the earth. From them four forbidden, that the way the constant, don't you wrong in them your souls.
Okay, so
So,
I'll explain this sign. So no need to bring it up.
mhm.
You gave them the sign, they can go read it. So basically, when he created the day, he created the heavens and the earths. So now you can say argue that it's the fifth or the sixth day. I don't care. It's either the fifth or the sixth days when he created both of them. And that day he decided that the count of months will be 12. And we count the months via the moon, and we also divide the solar year into 12 segments as well. So those are the 12 months. But in general, the main way of counting the years is the moon for us, because you can see the easily the levels of the moon from new moon to the waning moon when it disappears again, from new moon to the end. So those are the months, and 12 cycles of that creates a year, the moon year. The sun year is when the whole star system moves around us once every year, and when it goes around, the star returns because it keeps moving. I don't know how many, 1 or 2 degrees, less than 1 degree every year. If you point a star, and after 360 some days, it will come back to the same place. So that's one solar year. And you can divide that into 12 months as well, and it has like 9 or 10 days more than the lunar year. But if you look back in history, most of the older generations, they use the lunar year. I mean, the Jews are counting the lunar year. The Chinese, which are the oldest, are counting the lunar year. So all this is to delude us into thinking things which are not real, and making our perfection in measuring time, when they keep telling us that they keep editing it every year, every 4 years. The Jews will change 10 days, 30 days every 3 years, or 10 days every year to keep with the seasons. No, that's not the intent of God. The months move across the seasons with the lunar calendar, and that's the way it is. There's no perfection of time, because God wants you to know He's done it how He wants to do it. not how you
Yes.
want to imagine it's happening. It's what's actually going on. There's no 24-hour day, for example. Every day is not 24 hours. It's a little more or a little less because the day itself is one revolution of the sun around us, pointed at the azimuth, and then take it all the way around. Yeah. And then it comes to the same spot and measure that time. If you go throughout the year, you will find out it is a few seconds or minutes more or less than at any other time. And sometimes it's exactly 24 hours. That is the reason why you get the analemma they talk about, the solar analemma, which most people don't understand, but it's the shift of the sun, and they attribute it to the tilt of the earth and all this other nonsense, which is complete garbage and bunk. Anyway, so that should explain this idea.
And four forbidden?
Oh, right. Yeah, I forgot about that. The four forbidden months are the ones that were created then. Yeah, it's not that the Quran forbade them. They've been there forever, for all generations. The forbidden months are where man, us, the fools, are not allowed to hunt land prey. We cannot go out in the wilderness and start killing land prey in those 4 months. And the first of those 4 months is called Ramadan in the Quran. The only month that is named in the Quran is Ramadan. That is the first forbidden month, and the three after that. In those 4 months, you cannot go and kill land prey. You have to leave them alone, and you should not fight yourselves as well. You should not wrong your souls in those 4 months, i.e., stop fighting. So, to the believers, the command is do not fight unless someone fights you. Only fight them if they fight you in those 4 months. You cannot initiate any fight, and if they want to stop, you must stop whoever you're fighting. So, this is the importance of those 4 months, and that way the animals will be able to procreate and sustain their populations without problem instead of you screwing around with them. And having said that, those 4 months also shift every year in the season. So all the procreation cycles of all animals, depending on when they procreate, some procreate in certain time. Yeah, they're all covered over the 25 odd years or 30 years that it takes to uh, do the whole cycle of moving from the that particular season back to that season for the month you're talking about. Yeah, the 4 months. So it will just, so probably it takes about 25 years.
And
Okay.
and sorry, just one more related to that. And the contention months, when it talks about that, are these?
Right. Yeah, yeah. Their so-called Hajj, yeah, that they do in Makkah. Good luck. It doesn't happen there. It's in
Yeah.
Jerusalem. Okay. For all of you who have no clue, the months are the 4 months which are forbidden, which I just spoke about, are the months that you can perform that so-called Hajj or pilgrimage, and the real meaning of that word is contention. Contention is what you have to do that. It's just called the contention. So you go and spend your 2 days there minimum, and three if you cannot make an offering there, because you have to fast 3 days. But those are corollaries. So you spend 2 days,
Yeah.
you remember God, you come back and make an offering there. That's all you got to do, and see the house and see the signs of God that are there, and that's all you're
Yeah.
there for. Okay, so we have Adam who wants sign 264, chapter 2 explained. Let's see what this one is. Okay, so here, so O you, those who believe, don't you wrong your truths with the favors and the hurt. Like the one, he spends his wealth to be seen of the mankind, and not he believes with the God and the day, the later. So don't be like those who spend their wealth and then they hurt after that people, however that is, yeah, by either making them subjugated to them. Like when people, somebody does a favor over someone else, he makes it as if now he's in control of that person, yeah, that he did three things for him and now he's subjugated for life to that person. No, don't wrong your truths with favors and hurt, going, oh, I did that for you, so now you got to do this for me and you got to be like that. And no, when you give truths, which can be anything, truths is any help you give, any wealth you give, any favor you do to someone, and then don't favor over it like as if now you're in charge and you're never going to be, the other person can never be above you for any reason. That's nonsense and hurting them, like those from the mankind who don't believe with God and the day, the later, the hereafter. But his example, like example of a stone over a dust, but comes to it a flow, but leaves it bare. Not they measure over a thing from what they earn. And the God, he guides the people, the rejecting. So don't be like that. When you give truth, that's it. I tell you the truth about the Quran. I don't ask favors for it. Yeah. I don't hurt you by saying, I gave you the Quran, so now you're under my thumb. No, no, you're already under my thumb because I'm the messenger. But I don't push you to give me reward for it or to praise me or to give me your money, mortgage your homes for me, give over your children to me and all this nonsense. Yeah. No, we give the truth and that's it. Yeah, I will hurt you when you disobey it. Absolutely. So, people will say, oh, you hurt us. Yeah, when you're disobeying God and his messengers, you're going to be hurt by us, by the words we speak, not physically. We're not here to hurt you physically. That God will do eventually. Don't you worry about it. Okay. So where do we go from here? So
Just
also, go ahead.
what the question that was asked, uh, do you think the sign from chapter 26, sign 18, when Pharaoh is trying to show his favor to Moses, would suffice in this case?
Yeah, because if I'm like taking care of someone and then he comes and tells me I'm wrong, I can't say I took care of you, I fed you, I clothed you like a parent does. And no, absolutely. You are here, you do it because you chose to do it. You didn't, if the child came because you chose to have a child. Normally that's how it happens. Yeah. And then if you then make the child old and give him all the things that he needs to grow up, and then he tells you you're wrong and you're wrong, you can't turn to him and say, because I brought you up and you are everything you are because of me, you're making yourself God. And that's what Pharaoh was trying to do with Moses, and Moses shut him down, obviously. So correct, it's
And
similar to that.
and
Absolutely.
even our parents, I've seen them do that in the life of this world.
Absolutely, absolutely. My mother told me when I told her all this stuff that you've deluded me all my life. You've lied to me about this faith that you said we were following, and you knew. And when I asked questions, you would say, don't ask questions because you couldn't answer. But when I brought those answers, she said, oh, you are all this is because of us. You are because, oh, really? Okay. So then now that I am all that because of you, and I'm bringing you the truth, why don't you believe it then? You take the credit because you made me how I am, and now I'm bringing you the truth. So believe it. No, no, no. That's not how it works. But belief is a tough thing.
Even siblings.
Anyone, doesn't matter. Friends, siblings, all of this stuff. Yeah, it's the same thing. So anyway, I'll. Adam asked about the story of Lot. I will give you an overview. I'm not going to go through the Quran, but I'll tell you who Lot is and what I know of it and the basic understanding of that story. So, Lot, as per the Bible, as far as I understand it, if I'm mistaken, someone can correct me, is the nephew of Abraham. And Lot was the only one who believed Abraham from all his people and where he lived, from all that society. That was the only one who believed Abraham. And he believed him after they threw him in the fire, and he came out unscathed, Abraham. And then Lot believed with Abraham. And then God extricated them both, Abraham and Lot, and he brought them to the Holy Land today, which is Jerusalem and the surrounding areas, called Israel, the West Bank, and Gaza, and whatever's around it. That extends, I don't know how long, we don't know exactly the extent, but around that area where Israel is today. And Abraham was established on the so called Temple Mount, and Lot was established in the city that is where the Dead Sea now is. And everybody knows about the Dead Sea who has any knowledge of this. And that's where Lot was established. And Abraham was in Jerusalem, where the old house is, the Bethel Atiq. And so the people of Lot were all these gays. They used to do this. Um, these despicable acts which they glorify today of reneging against what God created for their desires, their women, and they took their desires to the men. And after however long it took before Lot gave up and asked God to help him, and then God sent the help to him. And how did that come? It came via the angels, God's messengers, when they came to Abraham first and informed Abraham of Isaac and Jacob, and also told him, we have come to destroy the city which Lot was in, to avenge for their wrongdoing. And Abraham said, Lot is in her. And they turned and said, we know who's in her. We will save those who believe, and we will save Lot and his family, except his woman. They already had understood that the woman of Lot was a rejecter, was a wrongdoer, and she would be treated as the rest of the city. The same event would come to her that came to the rest of the city of Lot. So from there, when Abraham tried to stop them, God told him to step back. You cannot stop my command. My command has been sent. They will be destroyed. Turn away over this. So Abraham obviously turned away after he tried to stop the destruction of that city. And then the angels went there. When they arrived, Lot found them to be weird. He said, "These are people weird, yeah." And they said, "We're messengers of your Lord. They're not going to touch you." Yeah. And when the people came, all desirous of his guests, the messengers, because obviously they were in a form that appealed to them, to the men, and they were all men as well, or men looking, masculine looking. And Lot told his people that don't condemn me in my guests, these are my guests, don't condemn me here, my daughters, if you be doing. And they said, oh, no, you know what we want. We don't want your daughters. And then you're cutting the what God created you from your spouses. What is wrong with you people? And he told them he hated everything that they were doing, and the true people on the earth hate what the gays LGBTQ is spreading. Like me, I hate that. I will never ever glorify that or accept it any way, shape, or form. You can do it. I don't care. I'm going to tell you, you're going to find yourself in a lot of trouble soon when God comes with his command. Not just them, the rest of the earth that has rejected God. And those who are against them, most of them have rejected God as well. So it's like a comedy show going on. It's like you look at things and you're like, where do you go here? There's nowhere to go. And just like with Lot, there was nowhere to go except exit. So then the messenger told Lot, these are the angels, by the way, who are going to soon destroy that city. After that, they told Lot, take your keepers and go where you're ordered, and do not look back. Do not look back anyone from you. Go where you're ordered. And the punishment is coming to them in the morning, and the morning is close. So get out, go. So they ordered Lot and his keepers to go. And his only one who wasn't going to not look back, or wasn't going to not look back, was his woman. She was the only one who was of his keepers, the house that he was in, that was going to be destroyed with the city. So when they went, the angels carved that whole city out of the earth, put it upside down, slammed it back in, and rained on it stones from sulfur, piled. That's what they did to it. And to this day and forever, nothing will be able to grow or survive in that because it's so salty that nothing can grow there. It's I've been there and it's like slimy. When you touch that water, it's slimy like alkaline. And they've done research, by the way, on that land there, the Dead Sea, and they've excavated uh, balls of sulfur, pure. Like I've seen pictures of it. They're like sulfur balls there, and like it's obviously, and they're not gonna publicize it too much because it proves what's written in the books. Even the Torah and the Injil confirm that they were sulfur was thrown, brimstone and fire. Yeah, brimstone is sulfur, I believe. Anyway, so that's the story of Lot, and then Lot was saved. That's how God saved the believer at the end, the believer or the believers with him. So that's how he's going to save me if the punishment comes. I will be saved. There is going to be no punishment that's going to touch me of God, only of you people out there from mankind. You will try and touch me with your punishment and your goddamned insane laws and legalese that you make, legalities, nonsense. There is no place. There is no place for legal aspects in this world. There is the law and there is against the law. There is lawful and there's unlawful. There is no legal and illegal. It's all nonsense. Nothing can be put other than what God has said, which is the law, period. After that, you cannot tell anyone to not and prosecute them. You can tell anyone whatever you want. They don't have to follow any law that you make, any legality, nothing. And if you try and push that and the person is then harmed because of that, it all comes back to the entity and the organization that is implementing that, which is all the governments on the earth. They will reap the reward of the disaster that is going to come to them because of their legalities, their insane man-made laws. There is only the law of God, which some people call the natural law. No, for morons, it's the law of God. There's no natural law, fools. There's the law of God, period. And it's written in the Quran, it's written in the Torah, it's written in the Injil. It's the same law. Muhammad didn't come with a new law. Jesus didn't come with a new testament. Moses came with the law and the book and wisdom, with Jesus and Muhammad corroborated with the books they brought. And the Quran is absolutely untouchable. You cannot touch it. You can hate it. You can try and denigrate it. You can diss it. You can do whatever you want. In the end, it will capture you and put you in hell for that, because it's written in it. And you will soon find out as this generation is put to its end soon. So that was the story of overview of Lot. So
yeah. There's another sign that I wrote. If you could please talk about this. It's in chapter 11, sign 15 and 16. And it says, those who are, they wanting the life of the world and her beauty, we complete to them their deeds in her, and they in her, not they short. And the second part, in the hereafter fire and shut what they are. I mean, I'm not reading the whole sign,
yeah,
but right.
okay,
Yeah.
I'll bring it up.
Yeah.
So in chapter 11, 15,
Yeah.
let's read it from up here from 13. Yeah, actually no, let's go up here. So he's talking to the messenger here, by the way, to me today, by the way. But maybe you leave some of what he inspires to you and constricts with it your chest, that they say, why not send down over him treasure, or comes with him an angel? Surely what you a warner, and the God over everything disposer. So understand, they will tell me this. You're not even rich. Bring the angels. What's with this guy? Can't even fly, Can't bring down signs from the heaven. What's going on here? Yeah, sure. And then they say, invented it. That's what you tell me as well. I invented this stuff, right? I'm reading off of this book. I didn't invent it. How can you tell me I invented it when I'm reading this book? I didn't invent this book. I never told you I did. And I'm told to say, but come with 10 chapters example of it. They invented, and call those you able from other than the God if you be truthful. So look at the tongue-in-cheek answer here from the messenger. Invented it, he said, but you invent 10 chapters, yeah, if you be truthful, and call from other than God anyone you're able. Yeah, keep trying. But if not, they answer to you. And now he's talking to all of us, the believers. But no, surely what sent down with knowledge of the God, and that no God except He. So will you submit? Will you? Those who are, they wanting the life of the world and her beauty, we complete to them their deeds in her, and they in her not they short. So now you have to look at the nuance here. We're talking about the rejectors here. Don't think that you don't want the life of the world and her beauty either as believers. Don't be deluded in your souls and your minds. You also want the life of the world and her beauty, but that's not the only thing you want. They only want this. So it's not written here, but if you read the Quran, you will
Yes.
find it out that that's what they want, only the life of the world, and they're oblivious over the hereafter. All they want is the life of the world and her beauty, and it deceives them. It doesn't deceive me. I'm not telling you I don't want the beauty of the life of the world. I do, to the level that I need, that I've found for myself that makes me happy. I don't want to stay here making empires. I know I'm not going to survive here. I need what I need, and I get some of what I want, or all of what I want here. Everybody wants everything. And that's why you have this situation on the earth where everybody is at everybody's throat, trying to compete with each other, making more beautiful buildings, more advanced technology, more planes, more trains, better trains, faster weapons, all this stuff. They're competing with each other, and everybody wants to get ahead of someone else so they can overcome them. And what happens in the end? Every time, the same thing, they all get destroyed at each other's hands or by the hands of God and His angels. That's what happens. And to these people, we, meaning the Spirit and the angels with the command of God, complete their deeds in her, meaning in this life. And they are not short. So everything they do, all the deeds are completed here. They, those, not to them in the hereafter except the fire. So all the deeds that you do here, if you only want this life, will be completed here. There'll be nothing left for you in the hereafter except the fire. So Bill Gates, obviously, he's being fully repaid here, right? For whatever he's done. He wants to be rich, yeah, the richest. He wants to control mankind. See how far that goes, yeah. People hate his guts, just like Musk, just like Soros, just like the Morgans, just like the king. All these people want to control you with their stupid, imbecilic laws created from God knows where the sun don't shine. That's for sure. That's where it comes from. Yeah. Where the sun don't shine is where they take it out from. And then they shine sun on it to make it look good. It doesn't. It's still shit. And shut what they manufacture in her, meaning in this life. It'll be shut off. And wrong what they're doing. So that's what the reality of life is. You need to understand this life is transitory. There's nothing happening here except death in the end for everyone. Nobody's escaping that. Okay, I think we're done for today. Imran, you got any last comments?
I've been just listening and absorbing because some of the, I mean, all of it was mind blowing. What I wanted to ask you is, you used two words that I've never heard actually because I am so ignorant. As you said, azimuth. What is
Mhm.
that?
It's direction, the azimuth of the sun, where it is high and where it is pointing, basically. The azimuth, the height of the
Oh,
sun, and the direction. I think it's more towards the height of the sun. Yeah,
the height of
not
the sun.
100% sure. Refers to the direction,
Yeah.
I
And
believe.
what about analima?
Yeah, that's more difficult to explain. That's how the sun, if you keep looking at it at a 24-hour level, the sun will pass the point it was at, and there'll be less than where it was at the last time if you just monitor it every 24 hours. So if you just go by 24 hours, the sun will not return to the same point every day. It will be either
Oh.
ahead of that point or it will be behind that point, depending on the time of the year you're at. And it makes kind of an 8 in the sky. Makes an 8.
Mm.
Yeah. Anyway. All right, guys. So that's it. Next week, hopefully, inshallah, we will meet. And on Saturday, 1 p.m. New York time. Till then.